Alright, Babybelt version 10. Build video number 3. Putting it all together. So we've got the base, we've got the gantry. I'm going to take the moving parts of the gantry wire and put them over here. The base parts over here. And this slots in. You wiggle it a little bit. I like to put it in from the bottom first. And then once you get the belt and the bottom rods in, just push it down to tighten the top up. That should be that. Take the Y motor, the X motor. That can go in either way through here or through the back. The Z motor, the fan and hot end. And we can start plugging these in. So the Y motor here, XY, goes right here. The Z motor goes, of course, second to last. The X motor goes in all the way over here. I'm sorry, I'm not showing these to the camera, am I? Okay, like that. So X, Y, Z, or Z, and the extruder motor goes in, of course, the last slot labeled for extruder. Alright, now we can take the ramp with some zip ties. Clean up these threads a little bit. And the ramp will drop in. Make sure you cut the tail off the ramp on the Z motor side, otherwise it'll wiggle on the gear and drive you nuts. Alright. So all the motors are hooked up. We can take our M3 or M2 by M4 PTFE tubing. We do not need the whole length of this. So don't use the whole length. It'll cause retraction issues. You just need it to go from when Y is all the way up and X is all the way over, so that it doesn't catch on this gear here. Oops. Pulley, not the gear. You feed it in. Doesn't go in very far. There we go. Of course, all these wires here. These all go through the little window down here. And the fan goes down here too. Some people like to put a little extension on the fan. I don't see a problem with that. I don't think it's necessary. So the fan plugs into fan 0 for hot end control. Keep in mind it's all the way at the maximum, so it's going to be, it's a little tight, that's okay. The thermistor from the hot end, I'm not showing you guys this, sorry. The thermistor from the hot end plugs in right here, pretty sure. Yeah, TH0. And then the 2 wires for the hot end. You can shorten these wires, of course, if you want, for the hot end. You know, they're quite long. Screw in right here for the hot end. Here, right here. There we go. And now, if you haven't trimmed your wires, of course, it's a big hot mess. So what you can do Just take more of the zip ties. Try to mitigate this as much as you can. I normally like to trim the wires, but I'm showing you the other option too if you don't want to, because that's what I have and I don't want to get the crimpers out and everything else mid-video. We do have some other wires we need to do still though. Let's not forget about those. Namely the power and the print button wires. So in every kit I include 4 jumper wires. So the solder's there, soldering station's there. I'll get some jumper wires and plug in my soldering station. I'm just going to use some speaker wire to power the board. It's not great, but it works. Speaker wire actually has a decent amount of resistance to it, I've found. So, but the amount of currents we're using doesn't matter too much. If I turn on the soldering iron, it will help. So I'm going to take these 2 wires here. I'm going to solder them to the button. Again, this probably would have been easier if I had done this before I put it all together, which is what I recommend you do. But who doesn't enjoy a challenge every once in a while? There we go. Those wires are soldered on. And then for the power here, tin these first. Don't worry, I'll show you where they go when we're all done. It's hard to solder in front of the camera. Like I said, you guys are in a learning experience with me, because I have not done some of these mods before. So of course, you want to make sure you get the polarity on these right. So, what I've done is soldered 2 wires on the push button, soldered wires on the DC in jack here. And so the 2 wires on the push button go the very lower left above the thermistor, and the very upper left above the thermistor, that connector there. And then these 2 wires here power in. Positive goes towards the fuse. Negative goes directly under it. So I open up these connectors enough that I can actually get the wires, and there we go. Check to make sure I got them, and I did. And that concludes the wiring and the build of Babybelt 10. Next, we'll be doing the commissioning, such as firmware programming and whatnot. But that is how you build and assemble and wire a Babybelt.